In this video, we'll take a look at the lever hub drawing. So find this one in your packet. One thing about this drawing we're going to do a little bit different is the right side view. This will be the normal top view. Our section view will look like this. The right side, they have it up here turned. We're going to do it like we normally do down here, and the isometric will go up there. It'll look like this when you are done. To start the drawing, really, there's no difference in the setup from the last one, which was the locating block. You're starting with the L shape. You're using offset to figure out your height, width, and depth to set up the three boxes. The height of the drawing is 1 9/16. 1 9/16 here. The depth from front to back is 2 5/8. So that's going to be the height, the depth, the width. You have to do some math. It's going to be 4 1/4 plus half of this big circle. Well, the big circle is 2 5/8. So 2 5/8, we need half of it. So we need to divide that by 2. So it's going to be, well, half of 2 is 1, and then half of 5/8 is 5/16. So you need to add 1 5/16 to 4 1/4. Those together will get you the overall width. And you can see I already set up the boxes. I did my 1-inch spacing and my 45-degree angle. It's always good habit, again, to double check your measurements. Make sure they're right. Get my 1-inch space before you begin. And I use the hatch tool to hatch in the 1-inch space. And then from there, it's probably best to start maybe with the top view and get the circles in. So what I could do is draw a line. I'm going to draw a line from here. Zoom in on that. From here down to there. So now I'll be able to get to the middle right here. And I want to go this way, 4.25. The end of that 4.25 line is going to be my center point for my two circles. I have a diameter of 2.625. And then I also have a diameter of 1.5. Two little circles, which are 1/2-inch drill. There's one that goes over 3/4, so maybe I'll offset 3/4. And then I'll offset again 1 1/8, 1.125. And I can draw these two circles in. So this one is 0.5. And this one is also 0.5 diameter. Again, I went over 3/4, 1 1/8 to get these two center points. And then this one was 4 1/4. That's the size of the inside one. 2 5/8 is the large one. And then both of these are 1/2-inch drill, which is diameter. Maybe I can get this inside rectangle, which is, let's see, 1 1/4 by 2 5/8. So it's 2 5/8 in, and then it's 1 1/4 this way. So maybe first I'll offset the 2 5/8, 2.625. And then this line I can offset up and down 1/2 of 1 1/4. So that's going to be 5/8. So offset 0.625 up and down. And always good to check your measurements. So total, that should be 1 1/4. Now from here, I can kind of trim and clean this up. I need a line, visible line here. I'm going to keep this, get rid of these 3 lines. Get rid of this, get rid of this. So that's the inside rectangle. There's also another one, which is the 2-inch one. And it just intersects with the big circle. So I got to go offset up 1 and offset down 1. Offset 1, I'll offset this up 1, and I'll offset this down 1. And then I just need to extend this line to where it intersects with the big circle. And if we turn off the construction line, we can kind of see what we got here. It looks like I need to trim this as well. And from here, I don't really need these lines anymore. Only thing left with this top view is the keyway. A keyway is a little part that kind of locks two pieces into together. And I can quickly show you. Here's a good picture of a keyway. So this is the key, and it locks two parts together. The little key part is here that would fit into, and then this would slide. This is used a lot like if you had a motor, like in this case that was spinning, and it connects the two parts together. And the key fits in there and locks that together. The dimension for it is 3/8 by 3/16. And if we look at our drawing here, the 3/8 is going to be this distance up and down, and 3/16 is that distance. So if it's 3/8, I want to offset up 3/16 and down 3/16, which would get me the 3/8. All right, so let's turn back the construction lines on. I guess I need to draw a line right through the middle here. And I can offset up and down 3/16. Up 3/16, down 3/16. And then what I should do is bring this in and then bring this in. So that's going to be my 3/8 space. Now I don't really need this middle line anymore. And then it goes over to the right 3/16. So 3/16 this way. Then I'm going to go down 3/8 and then back over the 3/16. So now I have my keyway in there once I trim this. So that's what the keyway looks like. Again, this line is 3/8. These two lines are 3/16. So my top view is now done. Again, the right side view, we're turning it. We're taking it like this, we're turning it and putting it down here like we normally do. So I'm going to use my projection techniques to kind of project this top view down to the right side view. First, I do know that I have a rectangle that's going to cover this entire box. So I could start with that. And then from there, it's just taking lines from the top view, and I can take this one here, go down. And this one here, where it connects to the 45 or intersects the 45, then you go down. And then I also need to bring this one over to the 45 and down. And then this point over to the 45 and then down. So there's 4 lines that I just drew down. The 2 outside lines are going to be for this box here, which is the 2-inch box. The 2 inside lines are going to be the 1 1/4. So I have the 2-inch box, and then I have the 1 1/4 box. The 2-inch one is going to go up 1 3/16. So what I could do is I could offset 1.1875, which is 3/16, bottom up. Now I can take my use my rectangle tool, and that's going to be the 2-inch one there. So you can see that in there. And then the one that's 1 1/4, it goes down 7/16. So maybe I'll offset this down 7/16. Okay, so I'm going to go offset 7/16. And I want to offset this line here down. And same thing, I can now grab a rectangle, and that's going to be the inside one here. Now I'm going to turn off my construction line so I can see this a little bit better. That's what you're left with. So you can see that in the drawing. we have like that U shape here. We have the 7/16 by 1¼ inch rectangle there. We kind of have that U shape that goes around it, and we have this outside shape here. So we're seeing 1, 2, 3 kind of surfaces or 3 shapes. So I see the 1, 2, and then the third one. All I'll have left to do is hidden lines, which again, I want to project all that done. So I'm going to go to construction line. The hidden lines are going to be for the holes and the keyway. So I can project over the hole first, top and bottom of it. And then that hole is only in that bottom section of the part right here. So the hidden lines will be here and here. The hidden lines that go all the way from top to bottom, that's the keyway. Top to bottom is the keyway. The hole is only this bottom part here. So I can switch to hidden layer. And again, we'll do the holes first, which would be this one from here to here. And this one from here to here. Now I can do my keyway. Bring this over to where, again, it intersects the 45 and then go down. And do the bottom of the keyway. Bring that over to where it meets the 45 and go down. Those hidden lines, again, are from the very top to the very bottom of that part. So the keyway is the inside one, so from here to the bottom. And up here to there. Again, let's turn off the construction layer here to see what we got. And I'm actually missing 2 more hidden lines, which are these 2 outside ones. That's for the 1.5 ream hole. So I got to bring these 2 parts over and down. And then that'll complete the right side of this. So let's turn the construction lines back on. Let's grab a line here. We're going to go from the top of this over and down. Grab another line from the bottom of this 1.5 inch hole over to the 45 and then down. And same thing, those hidden lines will be from the very top to the very bottom. So that would be from, let's see, where are we at? We'll get to make sure we don't mix up the lines here because we have a lot on there now. It's going to be this one. And it's going to be this one right here. So there's our right side view finished. Top view is finished. Now we have to do the section view, which you can kind of see what it looks like here. Again, we're drawing this cut in half. And it's going to be a lot of projecting down from the top view. Okay, so if I go to my layers, turn construction back on, I'm going to start projecting lines down. We're going to take this point and go down. We're going to take the keyway, bring that down. We need to bring down the holes, both the left edge and right edge of each hole. At this point, I would start maybe switching over to visible line and start tracing over some of this so we don't get too confused of what we got. We know we have a line going all the way across the bottom. We're going to go up. We can go over to here and also down. And this line, I did not get in the right spot. That needs to go to there. Which means this one is off. So again, it's always good habit to zoom in, make sure you're clicking the right points. And then this line should continue to go over to where the keyway is. Now I need to start bringing some more lines down. So I have the keyway in there. That was the last, these two lines here. Actually, I can draw that in. So if I turn my construction lines off, so this is going to be the keyway. That's the 1.5-inch hole, and that's part of the material here. So again, we have this part, we have the 1.5-inch hole, and we now have the keyway. We got to get this part that kind of steps down. That's going to project down from the top view, like these points here will project down. So I'm going to turn my construction layer back on. Again, you can kind of see here where it kind of steps down. We need to bring this point down, and we need to bring this point down. So I'm going to switch to construction layer, grab a line. We need to go down from right here. We'll go down, and we need to draw another line from right here, which looks like actually we already have that one. So we're good. Now it's going to start to step down. So we're going to switch back to visible. We're going to go over from here, over one, then it steps down. Then we go over again. It steps down a second time, and then all the way over to the right. And then I can connect the bottom. So let's turn off the construction line, see what we got. So you see the steps there. Again, where that came into play was this point here, and then this line here coming down. Again, you have these lines, you need, this is that part there, this part here. So again, everything relates to each other. We also need to fill in a line right here. So I'm going to grab another line from right here over and then down. And again, let's zoom in on that. I went a little bit too far. And let's turn the construction line off. And you can kind of see what that looks like. If you look at the line I just drew was this one across the top here. So we have this rectangle that's like set back. That's for this part here. And then it's open up on the top. So that top step should be open. And then we have material right here. The last thing would be the holes, which I brought the holes down. I just need to switch the layer to visible. So I have one right here, and I have one right there. And one final time here, let's turn the construction lines off. Looks like I need to clean this corner up. So that's what our section view is going to look like. And we also need to start hatching in the places that the blade would touch the part. So we're going to use section lines. We're going to go hatch. We're going to go here. Looks like I might have some parts that need to be trimmed up a little bit. I'll have to zoom in and double check my corners. If you get a little error like that, generally it's something that's not connected right. So I'll have to go in and check that. But when you are done, if I turn off my dimension layer, it should kind of look like this without the dimensions. So I have my front section view. I hatched in those areas. That's where the blade would touch. Do not hatch in the keyway. I put center lines in there for the holes. Put one center line on this right side view. Use my center mark tool to do some center marks here. Also, don't forget to put in the cutting plane line, which you can use. There's a cutting plane layer. Just draw a line straight through like we did on the last one, and then put two arrows pointing up and label it with an A underneath. And then you want to also label this section A-A. The final step then too would also be I need to go and dimension it, which I've already done. So here's my top view with the dimensions. I used Q leader for these. A lot of linears down here. And these are all linear dimensions. So that completes the 3 views and the section view of the lever hub. In the next video, I will go over how to do the isometric.